In every era, there are nations that shape the destiny of the world. Empires that rise, peak, and fall, leaving behind legacies written in power, ambition, and change. For centuries, global dominance has shifted like the tides, from the empires of Europe to the age of American supremacy. But as the 21st century unfolds, a new question emerges. Who will define the future of global power? And what will superpower even mean in the world of tomorrow? To understand where we are headed, we must first understand where we stand. Since the end of the Second World War, the United States has stood as the preeminent global power, militarily, economically, and culturally unmatched. Its influence has shaped global systems, alliances, and even the way people live, work, and dream. But the world that once revolved around Washington is shifting. At home, the U.S. faces division and uncertainty. Abroad, it confronts competitors that no longer accept its dominance. The question is not whether America will fall, but whether it can adapt to a world where it is no longer alone at the top. And standing across the Pacific, the most significant challenger has already risen: China. In less than half a century, China has transformed from isolation to global integration, from an agrarian state to the factory of the world. Today, it stands as an economic giant, a technological contender, and a strategic force shaping every continent through trade, infrastructure, and diplomacy. The Belt and Road Initiative is more than a project. It is China's vision of a new world order, where influence is built not through conquest but through connection. Yet, China's rise comes with contradictions. Its economy slows as it matures. Its population ages before it becomes wealthy. And its political rigidity limits flexibility in a time when adaptability defines success. Still, the momentum is undeniable, and Beijing's ambitions remain vast. Across the Eurasian continent lies another force, quieter but powerful in its own right. The European Union, a union of democracies that has turned centuries of rivalry into partnership. Economically, the EU is a titan. Culturally, it sets standards for the world. But politically, it remains divided, often struggling to speak with one voice. Its strength lies in soft power, diplomacy, regulation, and ideals. But in a world of hard realities, ideals alone may not be enough. The question is whether Europe can evolve into a unified geopolitical power or remain a collection of voices, strong individually but faint together. Further south and east, a new power emerges, one defined not by wealth, but by potential: India. With over 1 billion people and a booming digital economy, India represents a bridge between the developed and developing worlds. Its democracy is vast, its youth restless, its ambitions growing. In the decades to come, India could become not just a regional force, but a global one. Yet its path is complex. Inequality, infrastructure, and social tension continue to test its progress. Still, few nations are as well positioned to shape the century ahead. Beyond these giants, new centers of gravity are forming. Brazil in South America, rich in resources, culture, and possibility. Nigeria in Africa, a nation with a young and rapidly expanding population. Indonesia in Southeast Asia, strategically located and economically dynamic. Each of these nations reflects a truth: the future will not be dominated by one superpower, but by many. We are entering a multipolar world. A world where influence is shared, negotiated, and contested on new fronts. In the 20th century, power was measured in armies, weapons, and territory. But in the 21st, it will be measured in something else: technology, innovation, and data. Artificial intelligence, biotechnology, quantum computing. These are the new battlefields of global dominance. Whoever leads in these fields will not just control economies. They will shape reality itself. The United States and China already stand locked in a technological rivalry, one that could define the century. Europe seeks to forge its own path through regulation and ethics. Meanwhile, smaller nations from South Korea to Israel are proving that innovation itself can be a form of power. And then there are the corporations. Tech giants with influence surpassing that of many governments. Google, Apple, Tencent, Amazon, their platforms connect billions. Their data define societies, their algorithms guide what we see, think, and buy. Perhaps the true superpowers of the future won't be nations at all, but networks. Yet even as technology reshapes the globe, another force looms larger: nature itself. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is a reality rewriting the geography of power. Nations that can adapt, harnessing renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and innovation, will thrive. Those that cannot will fall behind. Oil once defined power. Now the new currency is clean energy: wind, solar, nuclear fusion, and water. A world built on sustainability will have new winners and new losers. In this emerging landscape, countries like India, rich in sunlight, or Norway, strong in hydropower, may become the energy superpowers of tomorrow. But the story of power is also the story of people. Demographics will shape the destiny of nations more than armies ever could. Africa is young, vibrantly, dynamically young. By 2050, its population will double, making it home to the largest workforce on Earth. If its potential is unlocked through education, innovation, and stability, Africa could become the heart of the 21st century. Meanwhile, much of the developed world is aging. Japan, Europe, and even China face shrinking populations and growing economic pressures. The balance between youth and experience will define the next era of prosperity. So what kind of world will emerge? 3 possibilities lie before us. The first, a new Cold War, a divided world led by 2 giants, the United States and China. A contest of systems, technologies, and ideologies, fought not with missiles, but with microchips and influence. The second, a multipolar balance. A complex network of great powers, the US, China, the European Union, India, and a rising Africa, competing, collaborating, and coexisting in fragile equilibrium. And the third, a fragmented world, a return to chaos. Where nations turn inward, cooperation collapses, and global challenges, from climate to conflict, go unanswered. Which path we choose depends on how humanity confronts its greatest paradox. Our power has never been greater, and yet, our unity has never been weaker. The future of superpowers will not only be about dominance, it will be about direction. Will the nations of the world compete for control? Or collaborate for survival? In the coming decades, the true test of power will not be who can conquer, but who can cooperate. Not who can command, but who can inspire. Because in a connected world, leadership is not taken, it's earned. And so, as the 21st century unfolds, the age of empires may finally give way to something new. A world not ruled by one, but shaped by many. A world where power is not a weapon, but a responsibility. And where the greatest superpower of all is wisdom.